This is the one thing, if I could change any of my behaviors as a child, I think this is also speaks to who I am as just, I've never really, I don't know if you've seen this, but Leanne sees this. I've never cared about money, and I've never known about money, and I never thought about money, and I spent money, and I never worried about money. And I don't know if that's good or that's bad, but at times, the biggest headbutts we ever had was when I would spend your money without thinking about money.
Yeah, I'm a card.
People of the internet, Bert Kreischer recently had his father on the podcast, and one of the things they talked about was when growing up, Bert Kreischer never had any concept of money and spent it recklessly. And in the video, you are going to see how shameless Bert Kreischer was with money while growing up.
I said to Gigi, how can he be spending $150 a month on gas? He's on campus. He's in a fraternity house. He said, "You idiot."
I was taking my friends to Amico and buying them groceries.
And beer.
And then they'd give me money. They'd give me cash, and that's how I made money. I spent so much money at Amico, I got an award, I think.
I didn't. I did not get any award.
They said they're like, hey, you're our highest spending in the Southeast.
I mean, $150 a month was a lot for gas back in the 90s.
90s, yeah. I remember the time I walked in and I was like,
well, thank you, bud. Thank you.
This is how, I hope if you're listening to this, you love me, number one, so that you can hear that I'm being very candid with who I was as a child. I walked in at college and I was like, and it was spring break week and I just came down to get some cash. So I was like, hey, I can't, you're like, oh, you home for spring break? And I said, no, I'm going to Aspen. Do you remember this? We were in my bedroom, and you went, wait, how are you affording that? And I said, oh, I'm not. I need $800.
Yeah. Well, so do I, bud.
Yeah. Calling cards were a big one. Do you remember calling? Hold on. Do you remember the time?
Hold on. Let's talk about Europe. He didn't realize, the idiot, that calling from Europe to talk to his girlfriend or whoever the hell you called for $800 a month.
Yeah. I didn't realize a calling card had a price point. I thought it was like 10 cents every call.
Yeah.
Maybe 25 cents because it's international.
From the very beginning of his adult life, Bert Kreischer had no idea what money was, so he spent it recklessly, funding his friends, his trips, and when he needed something or when he needed to go have fun, he would just demand from his dad, "Hey, Dad, I need money." But it doesn't stop there.
Do you remember the time? What was the bank you banked at? NBC?
No.
NC?
No. Yes, I can't remember. I'm old.
North Carolina.
It was North Carolina Bank, National Bank, or whatever it was.
NBNC or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And I get a call from my dad, and he goes, "Did you write in the memo of a check?"
Oh, yeah. One of the women at the bank called me. Yeah, it had to do with oysters.
Eating sweet pussy in the memo for eating sweet pussy. Like if I had to pay someone cash, I'd write for sucking my cock. And then I thought it was funny.
Oh, yeah, we got a riot in Tampa.
Did you do that? Oh, checks were a big deal. When you got
they always call because I was overdrawn.
Oh.
No, I remember that vividly.
Bert Kreischer was so reckless with money that he would often leave his dad's bank account overdrawn. And to make matters worse, Bert Kreischer would write expletives on the checks, which his dad would have to answer for to the bank. But it might make a little more sense why Bert's dad did this, because it was very, very different from how he grew up.
And I went to Malvern, and that's something that was extremely expensive. It was like $2,500 a year back in the 60s. Yeah. It was a huge amount. I used to get a check from my father like every week for like $2. And he'd say, don't spend it all at once. And, back then, gas was 25 cents a gallon. I mean, you could go to a movie for 50 cents. Mm-hmm. And so I came from I was very conscious of money as a kid. And at Christmas, I would get one major gift. And then I would always get slipper socks, which I always buy for your kids.
Yeah.
But when I was 10 years old, I worked in a hardware store. And I cut glass, I mixed paint, I mean, I worked for a guy named Frank, and every Saturday when I'd work, he'd give me 50 cents to go get lunch. So I was very conscious. I had a paper route. I worked in a hardware store. I worked at Jamaica Hospital. All this before I even went to college. Yeah. So I was very conscious of the limited resources we had. I was very conscious of money as a kid because of the struggles. I would listen to them. You know, when you're in a 800,000 square foot home, you hear everything. Do
you think that's good or bad?
It's good for me.
I know, but do you think that, because clearly I had no idea what money was. You
were raised totally different, because I remember when you went to Florida State, because at Villanova I had to work every weekend for spend money. I mean, my mother didn't send me a couple $100 a month.
Yeah.
I didn't have credit cards. So I was a maid for a year. I mean, I drove cabs for a couple of years. We did virtually everything.
Unlike Bert, Bert's dad had to work since he was a teenager and all throughout college. But because of those experiences in poverty, Bert's dad wanted him to have something different. And wait until you hear the only 2 jobs Bert ever had.
But when you went to Florida State, I said, I don't want you working. What an idiot I was.
Boy, I love.
Well, he took me for my word. He said, I won't work a fucking dime. So when you went up there, I said, I just want you to study and do well. 6 years later, I'm saying, I wonder if he has a PhD. And Gigi says, I hope he has a BS or whatever the hell you had.
BA? What is it? Yeah, I was so clueless. I went up there. I didn't work. I worked my sophomore year. I got a job at Thrifty Nickel delivering papers on Thursdays.
Yeah, that was a delight.
$40 for delivering papers. $40.
Did you actually deliver them?
Yeah, I woke up.
How long?
They would fill my Jetta with papers. My Jetta with papers to the ceiling, in the trunk, all over, and I drove around. It was right when the movie Singles came out, and I would drive around and deliver papers. And then I got a job at Safe Escort.
Yes, yeah. Taking girls from one place to another for safety.
Yeah.
Mr. Safety here.
Yeah. I was, and then I did that all through college. And then, those are the only jobs I had.
Yeah.
Safe Escort.
I was so smart. Don't work at all, Bert.
Now we officially have it on the record from Bert and Bert's dad that Bert grew up a spoiled brat. And the only jobs he's ever had in his life was a paper boy and a safe escort for escorts. But if you think that's the only revelation on this podcast, just wait for this.
You remember that story?
No, wait. What is it?
We go to the Tampa Palms, which is a country club I joined and it was Easter Sunday, so we decided to go there for breakfast. And as we're walking into the entry, there's a big bunny rabbit. It was Robert the cook. He was in an Easter bunny thing with big ears and stuff. He's like 6'4". He's big bunny. And I farted. You remember that?
No.
Oh, you don't remember?
No.
So we're walking up there and I farted. And this little girl, little bunny goes, Daddy, the Easter bunny farted. And the Easter bunny starts pointing at me. He goes like this. I said, Robert, shut up. You don't remember that?
No.
Oh, God. I don't know why I farted, but it happened. Apparently, it was pretty loud. Poor Easter bunny got hit for it. And Robert's going, there's not, his big ears are flopping. He goes, not me.
I get so much shit for shitting my pants as much as I do. I learned it from you.
Oh.
You shit your pants more than anyone.
Do you remember Rodeo?
Known.
I was at Rodeo Drive with Cotty yesterday. And there's a brown Friday shirt.
Yeah.
And people still ask me, why do I wear that? I say it's a long story. The girls were little girls.
Girls were babies.
And we were on Rodeo Drive, and you bought me that sweater. I still wear the sweater.
Banana Republic.
Yes. And he gets me a sweater, and I said, I have to go to the bathroom really bad. And he goes, good luck. I said, what do you mean good luck? He said, they're not going to let you go to the bathroom here. So I said, okay. We were staying at the hotel in Rodeo Drive. What was it? Beverly Wilshire? Yeah. Right on the corner there.
Yeah.
Prominent
and you
place.
said, no, I got it. And I remember I said to you, I got in line. I was getting a sweater for you and a jacket.
I said, I got to go to the bathroom.
I said, Dad, you watch the girls. I'm going to get this sweater and this jacket. And he went, great. And then he came back without my girls. And he goes, I'm going to shit my pants. What are we going to do? And I said, wait, where are my daughters? And he goes, fuck your daughters, buddy. We got a problem. He goes, no, I'm going to shit my pants right now. What do I do? I go, start walking.
Yeah, I know. And I said, can you pick me up in the car and drive me? And you go, not my new car. And I go, you fucker.
He was walking down Rodeo Drive and he shit his pants in his khakis.
I'm trying to get in the elevator was a problem.
Terry Bradshaw was standing at that elevator that weekend. Remember?
It wasn't Terry.
Terry Bradshaw was standing in the hotel, and you go, I don't know about that guy, but he smells fantastic.
Well, no, I got up in the morning to walk on the treadmill, and he was next to me.
Yeah.
It was Saturday night or the Fox NFL.
If I said to Annie and Cotty right now, how many times did we get a phone call when we were me and Annie mostly? We get a phone call, and it would be Dad saying, hey, you got to come pick me up. I shit my pants.
I didn't.
How many times?
Now this is an illustration of his reality and my reality.
I'll call Annie right
No.
now.
This is what happened. He told me to fuck off. So I start walking back to the hotel. Now the hotel is a couple blocks away.
It's a solid 6 blocks.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I remember standing by a Bank of America building going, I'm going to shit myself. And then all of a sudden, God intervened. And I had a reprieve. And I ran like hell to the hotel. I got in the elevator. I got to the room, and the room was a mess.
You went out.
Is this going to be televised?
When we were kids. When we were kids.
Because I'm not going to court again. I
swear to God, we would get phone calls, and Mom would say, all right, everyone in the car, we go pick up your dad. He shit himself. He's in an orange grove right now. How many times did you shit yourself running?
I didn't keep count.
That's right. Just when you thought you have heard it all, Bert Kreischer confesses that he shares something very, very special with his dad, shitting his pants. In fact, his dad shit his pants so much that it became a regular thing to pick up his dad when he shit his pants. Kinda sounds like somebody else we know. But wait, that's not the only thing that Bert Kreischer and his dad share. They also share a very delusional view of their health.
I stopped eating butter.
Okay.
No. Well, with my last heart issue, I thought, why am I having 2 procedures for stents on my Widowmaker? I mean, because I eat salmon every day.
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with me? But then I realized I probably eat a pound of butter a week.
But hang on, that's not an understatement. And you have to watch me butter to understand.
Every bite, I would put a piece of butter on. If it was a roll, I'd put
a pad
of butter on.
A pad of butter. The only person I've ever seen eat butter like you is Isla.
Yeah,
Isla puts a thick amount of butter on it, and you're like, oh, I mean, so much butter that you got to chew through the butter.
I would put butter on pretzels. I would put butter on Oreo cookies. Anything I ate, I added butter to it. So in December, after Christmas, I decided I'm not going to eat any more butter.
Really?
So I stopped. I haven't had butter since December. My cholesterol is now under 100. Wow. And I think
did you ever get my numbers from Ways to Well?
Yeah, I can go grab them on the laptop right now. 8 minutes to that meeting, by the way.
Okay.
Oh.
As you can see, Bert Kreischer and his dad hold the same delusional views about their health. While he was blaming it on butter, you could see them throwing back drink after drink after drink during the podcast. And Bert and his dad will deny alcoholism to the end. You can see that they also share that rosy red complexion that comes from being an alcoholic. I find it really funny because why not just say you're an alcoholic? Everybody else can see it and maybe just address that issue once in your life. But no, it's the butter. It isn't all the drinks you throw back. It isn't that fat suit you carry around, and certainly isn't that turkey gobbler under your neck. Yes, it is the butter. And just in case you were wondering, we still didn't get those Ways to Wells numbers. But that's not where it ends, because before the podcast is over, Bert Kreischer and his dad left us with this little gift.
So what do we make for dinner tonight? Should we get Indian food and just order it in?
Indian food? Do I look Indian to you?
You don't have to be Indian to eat Indian food.
I don't eat Indian food.
Have you ever tried Italian food?
I love Italian food.
It's the same mechanism.
It's not the same.
It is. Indian food fucking rocks.
Yeah, we're not getting that.
Okay.
We're gonna get something I understand. I don't understand. What is Indian food?
Oh, are you being serious? Have you never had Indian food?
Obviously not.
Are you
Have you
being
ever
serious?
gone to an Indian restaurant with me?
No, I have not.
So why are you asking me that?
Well, I thought maybe once in your life you would have experienced
Oh,
Indian.
yeah. Let's go to an Indian food tonight. What the fuck is Indian food?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. We're getting Indian food
No,
tonight.
I'm not eating.
We're getting Indian food.
I'm too old to change.
No, you're not.
No, I am.
You're going to discover you love Indian food, and
Yeah.
it's going to be your new favorite
Does
food.
it have curry in it? I
only
hate curry.
It's only curry.
I hate curry.
It's only curry.
I hate curry and I hate ginger.
They don't have ginger in it, I don't think.
Well, good for me.
It's Indian food is so fucking good.
So we're going to pass on that.
Tiki marsala. How great is tiki marsala? Chicken
Why are you
tiki.
asking her?
Because Pierce is regular white. Like
What do you
she's
mean regular white?
Paulson, you like Indian food? Everyone loves Indian food.
Who are these people?
They're just the people that work here.
I think they're part Indian.
No, they're not. Paulson.
Austin, come here. Let me see you.
Pete, how great is Indian food?
No, you're talking about.
Very white, and I love Indian food.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you should have dinner with him tonight. Because I'm not.
As if there wasn't enough revelations on this podcast, Bert's dad says he doesn't know what Indian food is. And I find that really unbelievable, because how can you grow up in America and have no concept of Indian food? And if you didn't know, now you do, that Indian food is only for Indians and regular whites. But now we have on the record that Bert Kreischer was raised as a spoiled little brat, and if that wasn't the worst thing you ever knew. All in all, this was a very revealing podcast because it confirmed many of the suspicions we had about Bert Kreischer. Bert Kreischer has never had to worry about money, has never had to work for a living, and whether he wanted to party or was in some sort of trouble, Daddy's money was always there to bail him out. But the best thing we learned today was that Bert Kreischer is a pants shitter.
Know you like to bang, no, don't stay.